Hey students, welcome back to Mr. Hemrich's music class. Today we're going to move into section 6. This is going to be the brown belt for the Recorder Karate class. This is Amazing Grace. Now, a couple of things to point out on this song. You'll notice at the very beginning the key signature has an F sharp in it. Right after that you see the time signature, which is 3, 4. The top number, remember what that means? That means how many beats per measure. So this means there's 3 beats per measure, followed by a quarter rest. Now wait a minute, I thought we just said there's 3 beats per measure. And according to this, a quarter rest is only 1 beat. Oh yeah, that's a pickup measure. Remember from songs we've had before? That partial measure at the beginning of the song is a pickup measure. The next thing you see after that is a big black bar with some things on the side of it and a number 7 above it. That is basically a super long whole rest. The number above it tells you how many full measures you need to rest for. So in this case it would be 7 full measures of rest. Now wait a minute, I know what you're thinking. What are we supposed to do? Just sit here and count in silence for 7 measures? I know this sounds weird, but here's the thing. This song is actually meant to be played like all the other Recorder Karate songs with the background music, but unfortunately because of copyright stuff, we can't play the background music here over the internet. The challenge of this song and the reason why it's a brown belt is because this is really testing your ability to keep a solid tempo, because on the backing tracks for this song, there are no drums. All you hear is the cello and the violins. It's actually a really cool song to play along with. So that's what you would be hearing during those 7 measures of rest. So here's how we're gonna do it in this particular format. We're just gonna skip those 7 measures of rest. So what I'm gonna do is count you in, 1, ready, go. Then you're gonna do that rest on 3, that's that first quarter note, and then you're going to skip the measure that has the number 7 in it, go right to the last measure on that top line where you see 2 quarter rests, rest, rest on 1, 2, and then you see the 2 8th notes there. It's a low D and low E. That's going to be 3 and then you're on to measure number 9. Skipping down to the 3rd line, the 1, 2, 3rd measure in, you'll see the dotted half note is tied together with a half note. The dot adds half the value, so a half note is worth 2, half of 2, 1, 2 plus 1 is 3, so the dotted half note is worth 3, but it's tied together to another half note, so 3 plus 2 is 5. So you're going to hold that note for 5 beats. So you're going to count 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, and the quarter note at the end of that line and the end of that measure is on 3. And you play on past 17 down to the 5th line down there. You'll see the thicker bar line and the skinny bar line and then the 2 dots. Remember what that is? That's like your teleportation device. That's called a repeat. It transports you from that back to measure 9 where you see the same thing but the dots are on the other side. And it dumps you out there at number 9. Then we'll play all the way through it. The second time you get to the end of the 5th line down there, you just keep going. You don't repeat it twice, you just repeat it the 1 time. So the second time you get there, you just go past it. You're on measure 25 now. Measure 26, you'll see that half note. Right below it, it says R-I-T. That is a musical term called retardando. What that basically means is that the tempo is intentionally slowing down at that point. So because we're using the metronome, it's kind of tricky to slow it down with that metronome continuing to go. So we're not going to do the retardando. We're just going to keep playing it with the metronome. And then the last 2 measures, it's the low G, and then the tie is like a dotted line. That means that the tie is optional. You have the option of playing it as 1 note or 2 notes. We're going to play it as 1 note. So let's just make those 2 notes tied together. You've got the dotted half note tied to another dotted half note, but above that second dotted half note, you remember what that's called? That's called a fermata, which basically means you hold that note for as long as the director tells you to hold that note for. And then we're at the end of the song. We got it? All right, so on this one, since there is no backing track that we're playing along with, we're just gonna play it at the recommended tempo that they have there at the top where it says expressively, and then a quarter note equals 66. So we're not gonna do a slow tempo to practice with, we're just gonna do it as 66. Now here's the thing, if 66 is too fast for you, then set your metronome to a slower tempo, practice it, and then come back and try to play it at 66. Once again, follow the bouncing red pen. 1, ready, go. 1, 2, rest. 1, 2, 3, and 1, 2, 3, and 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, and 1, 2, 3, and 1, 2, 3, and 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, and 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, and 1, 2, 3, and 1, 2, 3, and 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. We're gonna repeat back up. 3 and 1, 2, 3 and 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3 and 1, 2, 3 and 1, 2, 3 and 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3 and 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3 and 1, 2, 3 and 1, 2, 3 and 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Rest, rest. 3 and 1, 2, 3 and 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, and hold it as long as I tell you to. Well, how'd you do? Did you get it? Again, if that was still too fast for you, then by all means set your metronome down somewhere, maybe like 50 or 40s or somewhere in there, and then play it. But play it at a consistent tempo, and then try to speed it up a little bit at a time to get to 66. If you got it, great job. Let's move on to the next one.